they're getting quite rowdy, this audience from Midleton and County Cork. We're having a wonderful time. And at this point, I've got a reminder for pensioners who are far from retiring. Irish Life Assurance would like to remind you all that the closing date for nominations for their Pensioner of the Year Awards is Friday next, the 20th of September. And if you'd like some more information, you can contact Anne Enright, Irish Life Pensioner of the Year Awards, Irish Life Assurance Company, Lower Abbey Street in Dublin 1. The telephone number is 01 704 2888. And also a word about something tomorrow night, that's Tuesday, 17th of September, on Network 2 at 8:05. There's a programme that you might like to watch. It's called So Much Better Than Bingo. And it looks at some of the interesting activities undertaken by two active age associations in County Roscommon. So that's something to look forward to tomorrow night, Network 2 at 8:05. Now, we're going to meet Flann O'Mara, who, like Sister Rosario, is from Tipperary. And, well, Father Eugene says we won't hold that against you. So tell us your story. You emigrated.
Well, I emigrated in the 50s, the early 50s, to London at the youthful age of 17.
That is young.
Yes. And I stayed there for 14 years. Of course, my ambition was to come back to Ireland, back to the roots. I fell in love with a lovely Cork young lady who's here on my right, down along the way.
In England?
In England, yes.
Oh, I see.
We met at some of our church activities. We were all both involved in our parish church, which was Quakes Road in Kilburn, big Irish area, of course. And we had a lot of priests there. In those days, we had 11 or 12 priests who were very active in the parish. And so we became very involved ourselves. It was a great place to meet all our fellow Irish people, and just great.
So at what point did you decide, OK, it's right now, the time is right to go back?
I decided when we had our firstborn, he was 6 months old, Paul. Coincidentally, his wife gave birth to a lovely little baby girl for us, our first grandchild, Kate. And I'd like to say, how are you, Kate, down there in 6 Mile Bridge, and Paul and Anne?
Congratulations, your first grandchild.
Oh, great, it's just great. So I came back in 68 to Cork, lovely Cork.
And what did you do? I mean,
my business, I'm in the shoe business, and I'd worked for a multiple in London for that 14 years, and I said I'd like to come back to Ireland, and the only thing I could do was really stick to the business I knew. A brother-in-law of mine advised me to do that. I was interested in the pub business, and he said, do this. Someone said, do this and do that. And one day, Stephen, he's down there in the Palace Bar, getting that little plug in, Stephen. He said to me, Flann, what's your line of business? Well, I said, all I know is shoes. So he said, look, stick to the business you know. So I opened a little business in Cove, that beautiful little seaside place, Cove in County Cork, and fell in love with it. And then I moved to Midleton. My wife said she'd read a lot about Midleton, about Father Liam Keller, who was very active in sports in those days. 21 years ago, I celebrate 21 years too. And we said Midleton was a lovely place, we thought, to come to bring up our children, great schools, church, near the sea. We had everything going for us. So we came to Midleton, and we really love it.
Really?
And I love my business in Midleton. I love the people I meet. And I've always been kind of involved in church activities. And
you're also involved in the fundraising for the daycare centre, aren't you?
Yes, we have a very dedicated little group who are about to, we're fundraising for a daycare centre, which we feel is badly needed in Midleton. And
are you doing well? Like, is it progressing?
We're doing great. We're out about 4 years, and last year we launched a big fundraising campaign, and I must say that people have been very generous and very kind to us. We're almost to 80,000 now. The Minister for Health has been very good to us. He's promised us some funds, and we hope to turn the sod next year. The Southern Health Board are also very good to us. So to the people of Midleton and the area, the 10-mile radius that we're going to cater for with the daycare centre, they've been very, very good to us.
I'm sure they're looking forward to it.
Midleton
is really, as you said, a wonderful place, but thriving. You know, there's the Heritage Centre now.
That's right, the Jemison Heritage Centre, and we have Fota, the wildlife place, that beautiful park. And we have, of course, the Queenstown story. Very sad one as we talk about immigration today. A trip to that for anyone is certainly well worthwhile. So I say to all the people on the East Coast, come down to Cove. It's a sad story.
And you've the Midleton Distillery as well.
We have the Jemison Heritage Centre, we have Trebalgan, we have numerous golf clubs. So if you want to golf, if you want to sail, if you want to fish, we have it all. We really
you sell it well. You sell it well. Now, beside Flann is Father Eugene Baker. This is the man with the serious suntan.
That's from hard work,
hard work, is it? Tell me about it.
Because when I came here today, they all thought I was after a holiday. I said, go away, that's from hard work. 5 weeks.
You were in Australia?
In Australia.
What sort of work were you doing?
I was helping out in the parish down in Sydney. Lovely place called Kingsgrove. Lovely people there, lots of Irish. And I got the opportunity last January to go out for 4 weeks I got in a little few days of a holiday, you see, as well. not to be outdone. So went down to Kingsgrove and met loads of Irish people when I was over there, taking over a parish. And, you know, I think we can be very proud of our immigrants, Mary. That's an important thing. No matter where you go, you see the Irish people have done so well for themselves, no matter what city in the world you travel to. And that was likewise in Sydney. So many people I met, relations, friends, people from Midleton, they've done fantastic for themselves. Even young people. We went down to a pub in Stratfield, Platform 9, and of course Live at 3 is very big over in SBS in Australia. You know that, Mary, don't you?
Yes,
so they're listening in. We're thinking about you. But you know, the young people over there, they've done so well for themselves and so proud of what they are and who they are as well. They've brought their Irish identity with them.
Yeah, well, Flann was saying there that when he was an immigrant in London, that the church really was the focus and that there were a lot of, what did you say, 14 priests that were involved?
We had a very big parish there.
So do you find that that's really a very important factor for the immigrants in places like Australia?
I think the church always sees kind of the outreach to the immigrants fantastic. And over in London, you have Tollington Park, the Irish Immigrant Centre is located, and there's a great bunch of people there working for the benefit of the Irish immigrants working in London. And we have lots of priests as well from the Clyne Diocese working in London and in Portsmouth Diocese. In fact, with the recent diocesan changes, now we're sending out 2 priests from the Diocese of Clyne out working in Portsmouth to help with the immigrants out in England. So I think we can be very proud overall of our immigrants.
And would you see a difference between the immigrants in Australia and the immigrants in Britain? I mean, it's so much further away, isn't it?
It is, but believe it or not, Mary, an interesting thing, I would see Sydney as another London in many ways. You know, very much, even though there are a lot of Asians there, there's still an awful lot of the British and London influence in Sydney. So as regards to people, not at all. You know, the immigrants we have in Sydney, the Irish immigrants, they're as good and as brilliant and as fantastic no matter where you meet them. So they're fantastic, really. It's like Sydney is another London, really.
So when did you actually come back from Australia?
I just came back yesterday, just arrived.
So you kind of jet lagged?
A great expense to RTE, I'm here. Is that right?
We say no extent. So you must be very tired.
Not at all, no, fantastic. The canon here has a week's work of duty ahead of me when I go back to Midleton.
You'll be hanging up those stations of the cross and taking them out of the horse box.
That's right, we'll be hammering nails now for the rest of the week. But while I am with you, Mary, can I say there's some power of love.
What do you think of the wheels? Excellent, aren't they? Do you recognise them? This is the DeLorean Marty McFly and Doc used to go Back to the Future. Speaking of Doc.
Cut. Great. You just added that, huh?
Do you know what? I can't help myself sometimes.
It was great. No, it was all right. Yeah.